Shalom, family. Coming back with another edifying video on our walk through the book of Ecclesiastes. And we're picking it back up at chapter 8, verse 1, and it reads as follows. Who is like a wise man? And who knows the interpretation of a thing? A man's wisdom makes his face shine, and the sternness of his face is changed. Verse 2, I say, keep the king's commandments for the sake of my oath to God. Do not be hasty to go from his presence. Do not take your stand for an evil thing, for he does whatever pleases him. Where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say to him, what are you doing? Do you ever heard the old expression that what the king's signs into, the king's mandate is law? Whatever the king deemed was just, whether we viewed it just or unjust, was law. And we all had to fall in line with it and go by it. So what better law to choose than the law of the Lord of the worlds, the Creator, Yahweh? So I continue. Where the word of a king is, there is power. And who may say to him, what are you doing? Because he's the king. His word is the final straw, so no one has power to subject or interject anything over his decree or command. He who keeps his command will experience nothing harmful. So it is with Yahweh. If we stick with his laws, statutes, and commandments, we can't go wrong in nothing we do. This very book that we're reading from, that we call the Bible, and the acronym for the word Bible is the basic instructions before leaving this planet or this physical body. This is as I stated earlier, this is the owner's manual. Like you have an owner's manual for a car teaching you how to care for that car, how to pamper that car, and what type of gas would be best effective in that car, what type of maintenance program that would best extend the life of that car. So it is with Yahweh. This Bible, this very book right here, his holy Bible, is our owner's manual for life. Stick with it and you will receive life and life everlasting. Deviate from it and you are inviting disaster. He who keeps the king's command experience nothing harmful. And a wise man's heart discerns both time and judgment. See, if we do things the Lord's way and we stay in his word and his word takes root in our heart and mind, his word becomes the measuring stick by which we judge or discern all matters with. When someone says or does something, we immediately flip through the Rolodex of our mind and flip back to the Lord's word. What did he say about this? Is this right? Is it wrong? Is it just? And with that measuring stick of truth, we will be able to discern and judge a matter justly. You know, modern day people now, when they want to continue on in their sinful, rebellious life, they'll say, well, and usually it's people who are living like the devil, and they'll say, no, they're doing something wrong. And they'll say, well, you can't judge me. Only God can judge me. But the scriptures say, he who is righteous judgeth all things. See, when you bring your life under line with the Lord's word, and you are living in accordance with this book to the best of your ability, yes, you have the ability to judge sin. If I was once an alcoholic and the alcohol ruined my life and the Lord delivered me from that, if I see you going down the same path that was almost destructive for my life, then I would be less than a servant of the Most High, not to point out that fault to you and to steer you in a direction that I know that will deliver your life and your health and everything behind it. So those of us who know his word and stay in his word and study to show ourselves approved with his word, yes, you have the ability to judge matters. For his word is right and just, and if his word is in you and you are in his word, guess what? You're one. So you have the ability to judge matters using the measuring stick of his word. And I pick it up at 8 and 6. Because for every matter there is a time and judgment, though the misery of man increases greatly. For he does not know what will happen. So who can tell him when it will occur? Verse 8. No one has power over the spirit to retain the spirit. No one has the power in the day of death. You see, when your time comes up, the scripture says it's appointed to every man to die, and after the death, the judgment. See, we all have a standing date engagement with the angel of death. And I don't care whether great or small, good or bad, we all have a date with the angel of death, and no man can alter that day, push it back, postpone it, or what have you. And it says that no one has power in that day of death. Where is no release from that war? The wickedness will not deliver those who are given to it. In this I have seen and applied my heart to every work that is done under the sun. There is a time in which one man ruled over another to his own hurt. So it is we, the Hebrew Israelites, in the situation we find ourselves in here in the Americas and around the world, being ruled over by Esau, Edom, and the nation of Edom. Their rule is unfair and unjust, but the Lord allowed us to go through this by us deviating from his law. You see, Esau was never put on this earth to stay here indefinite. They were grafted and created for us for the no other purpose than to bring judgment on us for us transgressing Yahweh's law. Once our punishment was up, he was promised destruction, 1,000 years of slavery, and total destruction. There are 18 nations in this Bible, and Esau, Edom, is the only nation that the Lord promises to utterly destroy. He said, you shall look for him, and they shall be as if they had never been, like they never even existed. So it says there is a time in which one man rules over another to his own hurt. So Esau and them going overboard with their rulership, their wicked and unrighteous rulership over us. The scripture says that this would not only be, this punishment would be brought on them, but would be brought on their children also. So I continue. Then I saw the wicked buried, who has come and gone from the place of holiness, and they were forgotten in the city where they had what they had done, what they had so done. Pardon me. This also is vanity, because the sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore the heart of the sons of man is fully set in them to do evil. You see, when we have done evil for a certain amount of time and the Lord hasn't just struck us down in that very minute, we figure, oh, well, I got time. I got away with it this time. I got away with it the second time, the third time. There's no judgment coming to me. But the scripture says, the soul that sinneth, as it is written, the soul that sinneth, it shall die. It didn't say he may die. It said he shall die. There's a judgment for everything that we do in these bodies, be it good, bad, or indifferent. So I pick it up at 12. Though a sinner does evil 100 times, and his days are prolonged, yet I surely know that it will be well with those who fear God, who fear before him. You see, no matter what they do, we don't have time to look at what others are doing. We got to keep our promise to him. Do the best we can so that we won't get caught up in the calamity. There is a vanity which occurs. There is a vanity which occurs on earth, that there are just men to whom it happened according to the work of the wicked. Again, there are wicked men to whom it happened according to the work of the righteous. I said that this is also vanity. So I command enjoyment, because a man has nothing better under the sun than to eat, drink, and be merry. For this will remain with him in his labor all the days of his life, which God gives him under the sun. When I apply my heart to know wisdom and to see the business that is done on earth, even though one sees no sleep day or night, then I saw all the work of God, that a man cannot find out the word that is done under the sun, the work that is done under the sun. For though a man labors to discover it, yet he will not find it. Moreover, though a wise man attempts to know it, he will not be able to find it. You see, Solomon was saying basically, when all is said and done, our basic fundamental things is to fear God, obey his commandments, and enjoy our lives, because that's basically, to sum it up in a nutshell, this is what Solomon is saying. Only what we do for the Lord will outlive us. And so I hope that this lesson was edifying to you. I'm attempting to take us on a journey through the book of Ecclesiastes, and we are wrapping it up today at chapter 8 and verse 17. And so I said all that to say this. I hope you were helped, edified, and uplifted. Shalom.